for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Funeral service for Sarah Joe Trucks Nicholson, age 80, of Childersburg, is this morning at 11 a.m. from Calvary Baptist Church, with the Reverend Paul Hickman officiating. Burial in the Childersburg Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church from 10 until 11 a.m. this morning. Ms. Nicholson was a longtime member of the Calvary Baptist Church in Childersburg and drove a school bus for Childersburg schools for some 33 years. Online memorials at CurtisandSonFunerals.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Jeffrey Oscar Rogers, age 63, of Alpine, will be Friday at 11 o'clock from First Baptist Church of Sylacauga. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation at the church from 10 until 11 a.m. Mr. Rogers died March 26 at Brookwood Medical Center. The family will accept flowers, or donations can be made to the American Heart Association or to the First Baptist Church. Online condolences at CurtisandSonFH.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home at North Chapel, directing. In other obituary news this morning, Jacqueline Carlisle Brown died on Sunday. Ms. Brown was born in Sylacauga and raised in Wagufka. A memorial service will be held Friday at Trinity United Methodist Church, with the visitation at 10 o'clock, memorial service at 11, followed by a reception at the church. In lieu of flowers, you may make donations to the Trinity United Methodist Church, 1400 Oxmoor Road in Homewood. Homegoing celebration for Mrs. Sadie Lee Higgins Byers, age 85, is noon Friday at Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church in Raglan, with the Reverend Thomas Kelly, the pastor, and the Reverend Stephen Hudson, the eulogist. Interment in the Morning Star Cemetery in Raglan. The family will receive friends from 11 o'clock until funeral time at the church. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Graveside service for Mr. Glenn Edward Burrell, age 67, of Talladega, Saturday at Pine Hill Memorial Park at noon. Reverend with Ron Hurst officiating. The station on Saturday at the funeral home from 10 until noon. Mr. Burrell died Tuesday, March 26 at Sylacauga Health and Rehab. Online condolences at UrseryFuneralHome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Mrs. Betty Lou Walters, age 71, of Talladega, died Wednesday. The family receiving friends Saturday at Talladega Funeral Home. Memorial service to follow at 2 in the chapel. Reverend Corey Burrell and the Reverend Donald Grice officiating. Ms. Walters worked as a nurse with ABC Home Health. She attended Unity Free Will Baptist Church in Sylacauga, along with Beamiston Baptist Church in Talladega. Talladega Funeral Home, directing. In lieu of flowers, the family wishes small potted plants or dish gardens. Funeral service for Mrs. Marilyn L. Wood, age 64, is Friday at Star of Bethlehem Baptist Church in Wilsonville at 1 o'clock. The Reverend Isaac Harris officiating. Burial in the Wilsonville Community Cemetery. Visitation is today 1 until 8 o'clock, with a family hour 6 till 7 at the funeral home. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Ms. Wood died at Shelby Baptist Medical Center in Alabaster on March 21st. Funeral service for Joyce Linda Banks, age 74, of Pell City, will be Saturday at 11 o'clock from Chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Reverend Joe Teal and Brother Jason Elams officiating. Burial in the Talladega Springs Cemetery. Mrs. Banks died March 26 at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation is Friday 5 till 8 at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Mary Lou Faulkner, age 85, of Sylacauga, died Wednesday. Radley Smith Funeral Home, announcing. Thomas Marbury, age 85, died March 25th. Funeral arrangements to be announced later by Community Funeral Home. Funeral service for Mr. James Frederick Jimmy Britton, age 82, of Alexander City, is Friday at 2 o'clock from First United Methodist Church in Alexander City. Reverend Mike Dinsmore, along with Reverend Jeff Dye, officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 7 o'clock at the funeral home. Mr. Britton died Tuesday, March 26 at Goodwater Healthcare Center. He was a member of the First United Methodist Church in Alexander City. Randy Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for the Reverend Alfred H. Cooper, age 90, of Alexander City, will be Saturday, First United Methodist Church at 310 Green Street in Alexander City. Burial in the Cooper Cemetery. Visitation Friday at the funeral home from 1 until 7. Armours Memorial Funeral Home directing. And Mrs. Barbara McMahon, age 76, of Sylacauga, died March 23rd at Brookwood Medical Center. A memorial service, actually that is a late obituary, and let me see this one. George Richard Hall Jr. Memorial service for Mr. Hall will be on Sunday from 2 until 4 at his residence. Mr. Hall passed away on March the 19th. A look at obituaries is brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.